that just tells you everything that we've been telling you. This is just confirmation. And what's hilarious is this is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money. Sponsors. Oh man, Angel Reese fans are gonna be...
Angel Reese is grabbing headlines, but not the kind that makes sponsors line up. Instead, they're quietly stepping back, and with her signature Reebok shoe not set to drop until 2026, whispers are already circulating that the deal might be on shaky ground.
I thought Angel Reese was a big deal. I thought she was a box office draw. According to her pretend friends in the mainstream media, Angel Reese is a huge star!
Angel Reese's layup woes have crossed into almost comedic territory, highlighted by one game where she botched a routine putback not once, but several times in succession. As commentators scrambled for polite ways to describe the scene, the footage exploded online, going viral faster than a celebrity scandal, and for all the wrong reasons.
Commentators laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped themselves like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now. I can't laugh. I'm live right now. Let me get real serious real quick. Angel, come.
This season, Reese is shooting 44.4% from the field, a number that might seem fine until you realize most of her shots come right at the rim, where pros usually convert 70 to 80% of the time. Somehow, she's turned basketball's most basic shot into a coin flip, giving rise to what analysts are calling the Angel Reese effect, where easy buckets suddenly become impossible.
This was an epic embarrassment, bro. Remember, this is a pro basketball player. Won a national championship. Their calling card they'd like to hang over is she beat Caitlin Clark. Remember that. Watch this.
Also with the miss, Angel Reese picks it up, what she's good at. Getting another offensive rebound. She says, give me that. How about another? Persistence trying to pay off. Jones gets a piece. Angel Reese won't give up. Jones with another block.
Are you serious, guys? Look at this.
Angel Reese, thinking she devised a marketing masterstroke, planned to debut her Reebok shoe at the All-Star Game in Indianapolis, where Caitlin Clark serving as co-captain was certain to draw huge viewership. The setup was perfect in her mind. Clark would bring the audience, and Reese would steal the spotlight, using the so-called Caitlin Clark effect to launch her signature footwear.
Reese 100% has benefited from attaching herself to Caitlin Clark at every single use Caitlin Clark as promo. Now with Reebok she's using. This is nonstop. She has attached herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn, and she has benefited.
Instead, it turned into a masterclass in bad timing that made Murphy's Law look modest. Just days before the All-Star festivities, on July 15th, Caitlin Clark suffered a right groin injury that knocked her out of both the three-point contest and the main event, the very stage Reese had been counting on to give her shoe maximum visibility.
Shaq and Allen Iverson are going to go and do what they can to promote their player. Like, even still here, like you had the Angel Reese saying that she was, taking over Indiana, and there's about 15 fans there. And I'm more than wearing Caitlin Clark merch than her merch. She pulls up with about 15 fans, and I'm like, take over, Angel, take over. This is her city now. And I'm like, and she's never won a game in India.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. The irony here is almost tangible. Angel Reese, who has spent so much effort trying to frame herself as Caitlin Clark's equal or even her superior, suddenly found herself relying on Clark's star power to make her own moment count. But with Clark sidelined, the All-Star Game lost its biggest draw, and Reese's carefully crafted marketing plan unraveled. The numbers told the story without Clark on the floor. Viewership and engagement plummeted, leaving Reese's shoe debut to land with a thud in front of a far smaller audience than she'd envisioned.
Take over your trap. I mean, who's she talking about right there? Because Clark takes over every single trap she goes to. In fact, they gotta expand the trap so she can take over more real estate. Every single place she goes to. I mean, there is zero argument to possibly be made that she isn't the biggest attraction, the one that brings the most attention, whatever. It's not even worth talking.
The basketball gods clearly have a sense of humor. Angel Reese, who had loudly touted her own star power and crowd-pulling ability, suddenly found herself relying on her so-called rival's presence to give her brand legitimacy. What was meant to be her all-star coronation instead became a brutal reminder of how much both the WNBA's momentum and her own marketing prospects hinge on Caitlin Clark. Now, Reese is reportedly fuming, with sources saying she's even directing her frustration at Clark for the audacity of getting injured at the worst possible moment. After months of meticulous planning with Reebok's marketing team to ensure maximum exposure, her big moment was torpedoed by the absence of the league's biggest draw.
Sponsors assured him Clark coming to his organization would rake in cash hand over fist. But, quote, they didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese. She's not the draw, folks. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Quote, I don't know if we can make that same offer. Cube initially sent the offer Clark's way when she was an Iowa Hawkeye.
But the bad luck didn't stop there. As if the universe wasn't done mocking her plans, Angel's own body joined the sabotage, with a back injury sidelining her for 4 of the Chicago Sky's last 5 games. Officially labeled day-to-day, the injury came with no clear return date, leaving her stuck on the bench watching her team's free fall. And what a fall it's been at 8-21, the Sky have turned losing into performance art, dropping 8 straight games that just so happened to line up perfectly with her absence. For Reebok, the whole saga has morphed into a PR disaster of epic scale. Imagine being a brand exec, forced to watch your signature athlete clank layups in your shoes, while commentators across the league turn her struggles into punchlines. Once a powerhouse in basketball, Reebok now finds its name tied to a player who has become the face of missed chances on and off the court.
Boy, to get popped by 40 at home. Now I'm seeing the Sky fans. It's some Sky fans going at Angel Reese. Sky fans is going at Angel Reese. And I didn't even think about this. Okay, so Angel Reese, you sat out the game before the All-Star game. Then you played in the All-Star game. Then you played one game and said, okay, your back is hurting. Now you're not playing. I don't know. I don't know. Look, the Sky fans is bringing it up, not me. They bringing it up. Look. Don't get mad at me.
Reebok's basketball division, led by Shaquille O'Neal, made Angel Reese the centerpiece of their revival, pouring resources into the Reebok by Angel collection and building an entire signature shoe line around her image. But personality and style can't mask glaring on-court shortcomings, and that's exactly what the public has been seeing. What should have been a triumphant signature shoe launch instead turned into a cautionary tale in brand miscalculation. The diamond dust colorway of the Angel Reese 1, meant to embody grit and glamour, has instead become a symbol of poor timing and misplaced faith. Industry insiders now whisper about Reebok's buyer's remorse, as their marquee athlete garners more headlines for missed shots than made ones, while her team serves nightly tutorials in how not to play professional basketball. The contrast with Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise only sharpens the sting while Reese sits sidelined and watches her team crumble. Clark is breaking records, elevating viewership, and fueling unprecedented growth in women's basketball.
Great ideas, wants to bring in talent to grow Reebok and have people wear it again because no one does. So one of his genius decisions was this. Fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the...
The fallout goes far beyond the shoe deal. Angel's entire brand strategy hinged on becoming basketball's next big star, someone who could command attention and drive sales through sheer charisma. But in pro sports, personality without performance is just noise. And noise doesn't sell merchandise or pack arenas. Her injuries couldn't have come at a worse time, hitting just as the WNBA was experiencing a surge in attention and viewership. Instead of capitalizing on that momentum, she was stuck in street clothes, watching from the bench as the Sky unraveled. Her absence exposed both how much the team struggles without her and how risky it is to build a brand around a player whose production remains inconsistent. For Angel, it's been a perfect storm of frustration. She positioned herself as Caitlin Clark's equal, a rival capable of matching her excitement and commercial pull. The All-Star Game was supposed to be her proof of concept, a showcase for her marketability on the league's biggest stage. Instead, she was left with a meticulously crafted marketing plan and no stage to perform it on.
Fever have whooped the Sky basically every time they've played them. And did everybody forget about Barbie night last year, where Clark and the Fever went in there and she was signing pink towels and stuff? And
the psychological toll of watching months of planning collapse under forces beyond her control has been clear. Sources say Angel's frustration has been simmering since the All-Star Game debacle, with her injury only deepening that sense of defeat. She's reportedly voiced the belief that Clark's injury ruined everything, as if fate or the basketball gods had conspired to sabotage her moment. But the deeper takeaway lies in what this all reveals about her strategic mindset. The fact that she was depending on Caitlin Clark's presence to maximize her own visibility says more about their rivalry than any public soundbite. It suggests that, despite all her posturing about being an equal, Angel knew Clark's star power was a necessary ingredient for her own success. Now, Reebok executives are fielding uncomfortable questions about their due diligence. How do you pour millions into an athlete whose most consistent skill seems to be missing easy shots? How do you build a brand around someone whose team can't string together wins? The signature shoe market thrives on aspiration. Fans buy them to emulate heroes. But what happens when your hero is fueling blooper reels instead of highlight reels? What message does that send to the next generation when your marquee athlete is a cautionary tale instead of an inspiration?